The Salvation Army in KwaZulu-Natal is also working to bring relief to families and communities affected by the floods. There is a high demand for food, clothes, blankets, among other goods. Joining us this afternoon, Captain Velani Buthelezi, who is the Public Relations Secretary for the Salvation Army. Captain Buthelezi, good afternoon. You know, we've just heard the stories of the communities and the families that have been affected by these floods. From the perspective of the Salvation Army, how are you intervening?
Oh, good afternoon. Thank you for having us, the Salvation Army. Really, the situation is really bad down there, especially in parts of Durban and even some rural areas as you go towards South Coast. And the Salvation Army is involved. As I speak, I was talking to Major Hadebe in central of Durban. We are trying really to do a food distribution, some food parcel. At Mlazi, we've got Major Velani Buthelezi that is busy there doing food distribution in some shelters. You will be aware that people have lost their homes, so they are sheltered somewhere, and then the Salvation Army intervene in that way. The needs that is out there is your clothing, your blanket, and food. Even water is needed. That's what the Salvation Army is doing. Really, I can say to you over and above, because this is kind of a traumatic situation for some people. So as the Salvation Army, you know that we are the church. So at the same time, we are doing kind of counseling. As I speak at Peter Marisbeck in Bali, we've got our second in command, Lieutenant Colonel Jablani Koza and his wife. They drove down from our headquarters here in Johannesburg. They are in KZN just to come alongside communities, try to enable people, talking, counseling, and over and above, giving some relief in terms of food, clothing, and stuff like that. Look, public is responding, and we still appeal for more from public to help. As I speak, the team and myself, we are driving on Monday early morning to KZN in Durban to continue with the work, because it's raining as I speak. So situation we see is going to be worse, and even for the teams to work there is very difficult. As I said to you, I was speaking to Major Hadebe now in Ketomeno and in places like that, Ketomeno, Maran Hill, and Umbilo. That's where his team focus, and it's difficult because it's raining as I speak.
Captain Buthelezi, when you have the scale of need as what we're confronted with right now, how do you prioritize or even decide which areas to assist and which to keep waiting a little bit longer?
Yeah, you see, we were just discussing this morning. We had a meeting with our team led by the Divisional Commander in Peter Marisbeck. Major Brandon Brodsky and Chief Baba Jablani Koza. I am saying to you, we were looking at even some rural areas there are places that are affected. We speak of places in KwaZulu-Natal as you go to a coastal side. These are the rural areas. I know situation is bad in Durban, but this is affecting not only township, not only cities, but even the rural areas. So as I'm going down the focus, as your question is that we want to even impact rural communities. We've got officers, Salvation Army pastors who are busy in those areas, to be specific in KwaZulu-Natal.
You're raising the important issue of the psychosocial support that is going to be needed. Many of these families are completely traumatized, including those who have survived, not only due to the losses that they have suffered, but just what it took for them to survive these floods. Yes,
as I've mentioned earlier, that the need is not just for us to go there and give them some food parcel, but to engage with them in terms of talking to them, coming alongside giving some counseling to them as well. That's what we are looking at, really, if I may say.
All right, let's leave it there for this afternoon. Captain Velani Buthelezi, who is the Public Relations Secretary for the Salvation Army.